In 1979, Ridley Scott gave us his space thriller splatter thing movie Alien, starring Sigourney Weaver, Ian Holm, and John Hurt. But he's only in for like 2 minutes and then he dies because of wrong nutrition. The movie made approximately a shitzillion dollars for the time and continues to be one of the best suspense thrillers in outer space up to this day. We should mention that this film was about a monster eating or killing people. Nothing more, nothing less. It was cheap to make, easy to film, and we would call it today a quick buck. But in the late 70s, it was almost impossible to create a film, a sci-fi film, that was inventive, suspenseful, and not Star Wars. But why do I start with Alien when today's review should be about Prometheus? Well, that's simple. With Ridley Scott's Prometheus, it's time to revisit the Alien franchise, even though it's not a prequel. What? Or is it a sequel? Nope. Or is it a spin-off? When Ridley Scott picked it as a film with alien DNA in it, I was like, "You cheapskate? What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean episode 1 is a film like with Star Wars DNA? Oh, that makes sense, doesn't it? Like the pain is not that entrancing when you put it this way?" Hey people, this is an Alien. So don't blame me for making another Alien. This movie has some alien DNA in it, but technically it's not an alien movie. They visit the same system, but another planet. They see vases that look like the X. We're gonna use the Alien soundtrack to score the film. The logo is going to appear like the Alien title card did in the original Alien. The trailer will be edited the same way as the original Alien trailer. And oh, there will be a xenomorph in the end, also called the Alien. Scott, you fuck! So anyway, now we got Alien 5, Episode 1, Prometheus. It's a prequel, so shut your fucking face. So why pick whatever as my next review? Well, it's simple. I just bought it on home video, on Blu-ray, watched it and realized it was both awesome and horrible in so many wonderful ways. We're going deep down into this alien vessel right now and find out what killed it, who killed it, or if it is dead at all. Was there a reason behind all this? Or was it just the money? I guess we will never find out that it was the money. Prometheus is a solid movie with nice action, nice effects, strong characters, and an interesting plot. It's a good 1-hour movie. Wait, why just say 1-hour movie, you might ask? Because the second half fucking sucked! Because in the second half we got a cheap plot, stupid characters, bad makeup, forced plot points, and an undeservingly bad ending that will keep you guessing. Because it's clever, or because it's sloppy written, like in the Lost manner. Lindelof, you fuck! Number 1. What the fuck is going on? So, okay, I guess the movie has started by now. We see the 20th Century Fox logo in blue, which is always nice when they change that up. Then we got some other shit like pretty decent landscape shots with the title cards rolling. Whoa, that's the opening credits, alright. Then this albino is drinking some dark fluids and disintegrates as a big spaceship flies away. His body is starting a chain reaction of evolution, birth of life. Oh, biblical. So what did we learn in this first 5 minutes of the film? Well, first of all, they like desaturated landscapes. Even the man standing there is grey and white. Whatever the contrast to that is, the cells multiplying. That's really neat. Contrast, color. Prometheus! Let's go to Facebook. We then cut to Shaw and Holloway, 2 scientists whose job apparently is to find caves in the remote parts of the planet. How do they find them? It's never explained. They just do. And all these places contain a constellation of stars and a big dude pointing at it. So they figure it's an invitation. Wait, it could be anything, lady. Just because you found 6 pieces of the same stars doesn't mean it's a sign from outer space to go to the exact coordinates. How do you know their coordinates? It doesn't make sense. Plus, these people stated that these finds date thousands of years apart. That could also mean that they all worshipped some bright lights in the night sky, as indigenous people did. And since they all saw it, maybe the constellation for the one tribe was not yet visible for the other tribe. But 1,000 years later, oh, there it is. So let's worship it. Saying it is an invitation is like saying the sun and the moon are enemies because we never see them during the day at the same time. Like they're chasing each other. Did you get it? So anyway, we're now aboard a vessel called Prometheus. We meet David, a synthetic life form, an android if you want, who is responsible to monitor the people sleeping in cryostasis. After mind-raping Shaw, Inception style, he decides to play some basketball, eat some stuff which is technically not working on him and, as he states it later, wasted on him. So why eat it? No one's watching to be fooled into yourself being human. Why would you even try to fool them when it's so fucking obvious that you're not human? So anyway, he decides to get a haircut because style matters in outer space, as we are introduced to another character, Vickers, played by the distractingly beautiful Charlize Theron. As the other crew members awaken from their 2-year cryosleep, the ship arrives at the final destination. Random alien planet not connected to the original alien. Just go with it. So that's the planet where the star constellations pointed at. So now we get to the mission briefing.
Wait, what?
You tell them now? After 2 years of cryosleep? Who would agree to such terms? It's like they're saying, hey, do you want to join us in our space adventure?
What it is about?
You'll find out. Who in the fucking world would agree to just blindly step into a ship that will be afoot for over 2 years in a gulf of space without knowing what will be there? These people are either fucking poor bastards without alternatives, or they're just fucking stupid. Or they suffer from PC, a well-known condition called plot convenience. So we are told that they are looking for the so-called engineers. What did they engineer? Well, us!
Jeez, lady, you're jumping to a lot of conclusions based solely on a cave painting. Who's fucking with my medicine?
So Vickers tells the head scientists, although they are in command according to the Wayland Ghost program, that they are not allowed to contact any alien life form, which was the sole purpose of their voyage. Why are they not allowed to do what they came for in the first place? I guess Lindelof is being biblical again. Huh? No. The reason given in the movie is that the Wayland Company funded this expedition with $1 trillion. Yes, $1 trillion. So let's take a look at the math here. Well, that's $1 million right there. Wanna see what $1 trillion looks like? Boom! Okay, movie. So you tell me, you spent all this money, and the only people you got for this mission are these 2 unexperienced scientists with no proof whatsoever and no proof whether their assumptions are for real? And you also got the group of disorganized and grumpy people which are complaining about being there and running away when they should study the shit that's in front of them? But I don't blame them. They're never told what they're in for to begin with. Okay, so they spent 1/5 of Earth's current depth, yep, you heard me right, and they still didn't manage to get the right brains for this kind of operation?
Who's fucking with my medicine?
So they are preparing for their first field trip after conveniently landing as far away from this alien structure to create tension when they have to run away. And also close enough for establishing shots. I guess Idris Elba was being like, don't park your car next to strange dead structures. Yeah, well, that's smart. But here's a smart guess. Don't even land on the planet. Do it like in all the other alien films. Send a scout team away in some shuttle or something, never to compromise your whole institution to weather storms and possibly alien encounters. But whatever, those fuckheads are not jobs anyway. So the ground team is quickly driving over to the structure in only 6 hours of daylight left.
How do you know that? Hey, I'm talking to you. How do you know that, you smartass? The readings are that accurate? I never saw you looking at a monitor. It's not our solar system. You don't know how the planet's evolving. You know? You cheapskate!
So the buggies drive over and Holloway wants to know if the structure he earlier explained not to be God-made in the first place, because he says God does not build in straight lines, is indeed man-made. Why do you want to know that? So it's a hollow structure, and they stop the buggies to take a look around. So they enter the building, the structure that they know nothing about. Without weapons, and with no military advisor or personnel. This is a scientific vessel, no weapons. Oh God,
These people are more than just stupid. I can't handle this.
So anyway, Gingerbeard is using his little pups to scan the entire complex. They're loud, red, glowing, and he's howling as they begin scanning the place. Talk about being discreet. Or whatever. There's more important stuff to worry about. Like this scene. Something is creating an atmosphere cleaner than Earth's, actually. So any toxins that your scanner's probably not picking up, or okay, off goes the helmet. It's a good thing we sent these retarded stooges on this $1 trillion mission. So just because Holloway took off his helmet, everyone else does. Even though the Scottish or Irish, whatever scientists stated that 2 minutes may pass and you feel dead. For all you know, you have entered a hazardous environment without knowing anything about fungus, plagues, toxic things that your scanners do not pick up. And how about biological weapons or anomalies? Jesus Christ. So it's minus 10 degrees or whatever and the water ain't frozen. Maybe it's not water, as they state, and it's coming from the ceiling of the cave and is forming little rivers on the ground. Maybe we should put our fucking helmets back on. But now, let's leave David unattended so he can discover another case of PC, plot convenience. He just has to find the security thing that is totally helpless in the first place, cause you have to be in the place when it was recorded. So they follow around the little flubber stormy green hologram thing to a place where the one guy was really decapitated by a slow moving door. As they find his body, Fifield is scared. Yeah, you picked the best people. So he's starting to be like a creepy fuck and leaving, and he's taking the other guy with him. The other guy? They leave the research party and attempt to return to Prometheus on their own. Well, okay, see you later guys, let's go to Facebook. David is attempting to open the door, not knowing what is on the other side. Maybe he has been programmed to do whatever Wayland tells him to, as he clearly doesn't give a fuck about compromising the entire search party. So they discovered a picture of the alien queen put up like a staple to worship. Well, that's neat. So as Shaw says, they changed the atmosphere in the room. A giant storm is coming up, like right now. That again is pretty convenient to fuck up the patients. As they scramble, David picks up one of the candidates that are standing around there with oozing organic black goo. As a giant-ass storm with flying shrapnel is not affecting the tight suits of our heroes, Holloway is helping Shore and the decapitated engineer set back to safety. Meanwhile, back at the ship, Fifield and the other guy are lost despite his little wolf howling fuckers in his pocket, but apparently he totally forgot about them. So now they are lost even though there's a giant ass storm outside and no way to cover the entrance. So it must be clear where the entrance is. Draft and shit. And oh, the geologist doesn't know how to escape the cave. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck him, for all we know they are alien chow. So back on the ship, they take a look at the alien head that has been dead for 2,000 years but somehow is perfectly preserved. Okay, well, that's okay by me. Okay, you jackasses. How about not sticking your vital organs into a dead alien's head without knowing how or under which circumstances he died? Even today's doctors performing autopsies wear masks and sometimes even helmets, not to compromise their own nervous systems or vital organs. But fuck it, these people are stupid. So right now we don't know that Wayland is alive, but for the sake of this review, Wayland is alive and David is talking to him. Well, he's in this tube. So how fast is Wayland talking in this tube? Ah, fuck it. Wickus is confronting David and throwing him against the wall. Is she like super strong or he just super light? Ah, whatever. So Wayland said, try harder. So David will try harder by being a stupid fucking idiot. But he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing, so maybe Wayland is a stupid fucking idiot. So we find out that the engineer's head is made up of human DNA. So why are they super strong and totally white and big motherfuckers when DNA is a match? If a DNA matches, it has to be the same fucking being. If the DNA would be 1% off, he would be a dolphin. So anyway, David is opening the black goo container he was ordered not to touch, but fuck people, and he's going to open it. In a highly sterile laboratory environment, No scanners detect the unusual changes or alien substances. So okay, why not? I guess he just turned off the scanners or whatever. So, as Wayland stated earlier, or I think that's what he said, David should try harder. Well, that was extremely helpful. Did David lie? We don't know! So he's going to infect Holloway for whatever reason with a material he's not familiar with. He just knows it's organic. So I guess the ends satisfy the means, right? Big things have small beginnings. So David is giving us a great trailer shot and is now fooling the drunk Holloway into drinking some champagne which she extremely visible infected with the mysterious black dot. Well, I guess Holloway's drunk or whatever. Meanwhile, back at the pyramid structure alien thing shit, we see those two idiots still roaming around as they cut to the ship where we see a fucking map with them and their ways and corridors. So I guess the captain just didn't want to help them to find the exit and was like, wait, there? I guess everyone is either stupid or a dick, or a stupid dick. They even give him the coordinates as to where they are, but apparently they are lost. As they maintain contact, Idris Elba is telling them that there is a life form about approximately a click west of them, so they are afraid and therefore run towards the unknown life form. So we now enter a contrived scene where we find out that Shaw is sterile or whatever, and they can have kids of their own. Which is sad but not important to the story. But since we infected Holloway with the black goo, the movie needs people to fuck. While that's going on, or down, Vickers and the captain talk about having sex. Well, that's neat and cute, but it has nothing to do with the plot. Meanwhile, back at the pyramid, the two scientists are talking about how strange the place is as they walk about the black goo and the canisters. So some animal appears as a stupid plot point of stupidity ensues. After being afraid of an alien life form, a dead alien life form, now they're trying to touch an alien life form. But suddenly, without any chance of anticipating the next move of this obvious hostile animal, the giant grey penis vagina attacks and they both get killed. Plus, we get our first hunch at the Alien franchise because the giant penis vagina has a similar ways of entering and behaving like the head grabbers in Alien. Meanwhile, back in the Prometheus, Holloway sees a little fish in his eye and they're called up to a rescue mission by the captain. They take their little buggy over to the pyramid and begin their search for the alien child scientists. Yet somehow David manages to separate himself from the crew again, as Vickers wants to see what he sees. He's entering another room since he is capable of understanding this alien language in Lexis grammar and linguistics and finds a storage room full of canisters possibly containing the black goo. As David sees something extraordinary, he cuts her off. That son of a bitch. Holloway is now very sick to the bare eye, and as they continue their search for the dead scientists, they find Milburn. Oh, that's his name? Time to get off the fucking pyramid. Back with David, he discovers how the mechanics for the interior seem to work as holograms of the engineers enter the frame and show him how it's done to set up a scene for later. That is actually pretty clever. And also the hologram of the galaxies, Earth, and all that powerful visual shit is beautiful and well done. And it's done in a way that we actually believe it. So as the Rammstein light show probably dims down, we get a first glimpse at the maybe yet alive and contained engineer in cryostasis. Dum 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 dum. The ground party is rushing back to get Holloway aboard the ship as he continues to disintegrate or mutate or change or whatever. Black goo related transformation. Let's just call it that. Vickers is confronting them with a flamethrower. Awesome. Charlize Theron is getting hotter by the minute. As Holloway pleads Vickers to finish him off. She does it without one second thought. Damn, that girl is fierce. As David is testing Shaw due to her quarantine program, they find out that she's carrying an alien fetus inside of her, which makes her freak out and David's sedating the good doctor. Also, he's being a neutral prick in a very creepy vibe since he confesses that he watched her dreams. So as they want to prepare Shaw for her travel back to Earth in cryostasis, she makes an attempt to escape to the only thing that can save her now. The machine we saw earlier, and this is possibly the best scene in the entire movie. Shaw is programming the machine to remove the alien body out of hers. The scene is so intense and perfectly unbalanced, I love it. We also get a strong Ripley vibe by watching Shaw's character. Mazel tov! It's a squid! And thus we get our first look at the second evolution of the headcrabs we're used to from Alien. Now that again is pretty clever. Meanwhile, on another part of the ship, they find out that Fifield has returned for a forced action sequence. He is now a super strong zombie because fuck you. I mean, come on, he is on fire and being shot and still running? Okay, I guess he's dead now. So Shaw finds out that Wayland is not dead after all. He was on the ship the entire time. Why does it matter? It doesn't. It's just stupid. David confesses that he knows about the last surviving engineer, and they will wake him up since everything leading up to this point showed that the engineers are totally nice and decent creatures. Also, who designed this makeup? He looks like an old version of Fantastic Four's The Thing. As they prepare to leave Prometheus one last time, Idris Elba gives us a twist of the film, I guess as he explains the true nature of the installation. A WMD testing or developing ground. I consider this as a legit summary, but we are not told after all. So, as the Fellowship is trying to leave Rivendell, Wickes talks to Wayland and we find out that he is her father. More like grandfather or great-great-grandfather? I don't care. It's too stupid to even think about it. But it doesn't really matter to the concluding plot. Maybe Wickes is the heir to the company or some shit, but we don't find out. Idris Elba finds out that the superstructure they encountered is actually a ship when David is giving away the engineer's plan. Destroy life on Earth. Why? Because to create, someone must first destroy. Ugh, just go with it. So after clearly stating that the engineers were to kill all of humanity, they still wake up the sole survivor in order to communicate with him.
Gee, I wonder how that turns out.
So David is being pulled apart and the rest of the characters except Shaw are being killed off. The engineer is powering up his ship and we got our second obvious glimpse at how this ship is clearly of the same type as the one we used to from Alien. Again, pretty cool. Shaw is trying to explain to Idris Elba over the communicator why they have to destroy the ship. He understands, and since they are not carrying any weapons, they use the Prometheus as a bullet to stop the alien vessel. Yes, and that line sends shivers down my spine. Vicker's personal quarters are being separated from the main ship as the Prometheus enters her final voyage, stopping the alien vessel successfully. Shaw and Vickers try to escape the rolling alien ship. Yeah, just go with it. As Vickers is getting killed because, well, it happens. Shaw survives because she is the first title card, and she manages to escape her rocky grave. She makes her way back to Wicker's personal quarters when suddenly a noise is getting her attention. So the squid is alive, and also the engineer, and he is very anticlimactically killed by the giant squid. Well, there you go, monster vagina. Shaw is finally getting a weak moment as David is contacting her and offering a ticket off this godforsaken place because apparently there are more ships on site as they originally thought. And also he claims he can operate them. Shaw states that she does not want to go back to Earth, but rather to visit the engineer's homeworld to find out why. Yeah, sure. I think that will turn out alright. So we close the main plot with a stupid epilogue that should, again, reprise the original Alien epilogue, but I guess it's just, you know, the movie thing to do. The last shot of the film is simply the best and horrifying clip of the whole movie as we finally see our first xenomorph in all its beauty. Sequel time! So that's Prometheus, and what do I think about it? It's actually a pretty decent movie, but it lacks a lot of logic. The characters are strong, the characters are stupid. The plot is strong, the plot is stupid. What I like about this movie is that Ridley Scott really knows how to create a living and breathing environment, unlike that other guy that sits in the chair.